out here opening day, October 3rd, heading into the stand, so we'll try to keep you guys updated as the day goes on. Just started walking into the stand. It's about 40 degrees out this morning. Not very windy or anything. Should be looking pretty good. So this was a very calm morning. I got in the stand probably about 45 minutes before daylight. There wasn't a whole lot of action other than squirrels, birds, and the leaves falling. I'm up here in the stand still. It's about 10 o'clock, but it's been a pretty slow morning. I haven't really seen anything at all. A lot of birds, and woodpeckers, and owls, but that's about it. So, I'll probably get out of here, check a couple trail cameras, and come up with a game plan for this evening. So at this point, went back, ate lunch, and started to come up with the plan for the afternoon. And I decided to go farther in, down into like this marshy area where there was a lot of fresh sign, beds, rubs, and just a lot of heavy trails. They were hitting hard. And so I set up in this little seat that I had strapped in this tree that came up and split into like 5 bigger parts down at the bottom. And so I was kind of nested up in between all of those. And from there, I was able to look out around me into this marsh area, like I said, where I thought they'd be coming out in the evening. Finally got all set up, probably around 2:30. And so from there, it was just a long wait for this evening hunt. And at this point, for whatever reason, like I said, the doe just locks right onto me. And so she's standing there right on the edge of the opening, and I'm just completely still, trying not to move. And this went on for over 9 minutes of her just staring at me. And then at the same time, the doe that I'm watching is working down to my right, just outside the camera. And so this other doe's staring at me, but this one's a little more laid back. It's kind of just working out, feeding, and then finally more deer start to filter out of that thick stuff, and then they calm down and start feeding to my left. And that's where the doe that I'm watching, she'll eventually keep feeding and working left as she gets closer. So you see her standing there. There's the blood coming out, and then she'll start to sway. I think she's about to go over, and then she catches herself. And this goes on for a little while. This is awesome. It's my first deer with a bow.
Also, this is the first self-recorded hunt, so I'm pumped. About to shake out of this tree right now. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time and call my dad. Just got down out of the stand and finally stopped shaking. So, gonna go see if we can find my arrow and then we'll head over to the doe. Right here's a little stream it jumped over right before I shot. There's that tree I was in right there. We're gonna try to find that arrow. Should be over this way somewhere. It wasn't that far of a shot. Oh. There it is. A lot of grass and stuff on it now. Not a ton of blood on there. There's some bubbles, but I think the grass probably wiped a good bit of the blood off. I'm gonna wait just a little longer and head over.
I waited another 15 minutes about after this point, and based on I knew the doe was hit pretty hard, and also since it was starting to get dark and I was just anxious, I decided to move up and go see if I can get this doe. And so as I approached the deer, I ended up jumping it, so it stumbled into some thicker stuff, and it seemed like it went maybe 10-15 yards in there, and then I heard it crash again. But either way, I was like, I better back off. So I did, and then I just waited a little longer for my dad to come. By the time my dad had got to me, it had been dark for a little while then, and luckily there was a heavy blood trail. It was pretty easy to follow, and so we just followed it right to the doe, which, like I said, wasn't too far into the woods there. And now, the fun's over and the work begins.
Just got it off field dressed and starting a long drag out. Gonna be a long night.
And so after a 2-hour drag in the pitch black, up hills and through some pretty thick stuff, finally made it back to the vehicles. Even though it was just a doe, this was a pretty exciting hunt for me still. Came down to the last minutes of the day there, and I got my first archery kill and put some meat in the freezer, so this is a great first hunt on opening day. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have some more content as we'll be back out in the woods on Monday.